Hey everybody, it's Ian the Off Kilter Crafter. I hope you're having a great day today. It's that time again. It is time to start on another puzzle mystery quilt. This time we're going to be starting on the spring 2023 puzzle mystery quilt, which is called Village Green. I'm super excited to be an ambassador once again this go around, and I am excited to see how this quilt will be coming together. I hope you'll join me as I go along this journey for Village Green and put these clues together. Now remember, all the ambassadors get both the large and small instructions, so we can actually see what's going on both sizes of quilts. So if you have any questions, always feel free to leave them down in the comment section and I'll do my best to help you out. A few reminders with Village Green. The clues will be shipping the first Friday of every month, so make sure to mark that date down on your calendar so that way you know when Village Green will be coming out. And we are still working on Piazza as well. We have a few more clues for Piazza, and those clues go out the last Friday of every month. So you'll see two videos from me for a little bit as we work through both Piazza, the rest of Piazza, and of course Village Green. Now, if you still want to get in on Village Green, you can, but you've got to hurry. It's going to be closing soon. You can head over to the Cotton Cuts website and choose which colorway and size that you want to partake in. And don't forget to use my code IANVILLAGE as you check out, and that'll give you a free gift with your first clue. Another reminder about my videos, I always like to timestamp my videos, and if you hover your mouse down along the seek bar down at the bottom of this video, you're actually going to see different chapters that this video is broken up into. I always try to do that so that way if you have a certain step that is giving you problems, you can pinpoint exactly where to go on all of my videos, so that way you can get there faster and see what's going on with that specific step. All right, I think I've covered everything. If you do have questions, always leave them in the comments. I'll be happy to answer them for you. Let's go ahead and get started with clue number one. All right, it is time to get started with yet another puzzle mystery quilt. We've got Village Green. I pulled everything out of my packet, and we have, of course, our directions. I'm doing the large aster colorway, but remember, I do get the directions for the small colorways as well, so if you ever have any questions, I have the directions for both, so I can look at both. So I have that available. I of course have my clue packet, and we've got a goodie in it, but we'll get to that in a minute. We're going to start off looking at our actual aster colorway, and inside there is so much information in here that is important to know. You've got on this left side, you've got your puzzle mystery quilt tips and tricks. So take a moment to read these and take a look at what they have to say, because more than likely they will answer any question that you have. We also mark your calendars because the fall 2023 puzzle mystery quilt signups start up on May 26th. So go ahead and keep that in mind as we get closer to May. If something isn't right, you can always reach out to Cotton Cuts by going to www.cottoncuts.com/PMQ-support, and they'll be able to help you out. And then you also have your shipping dates in this orangish red box. These are all the shipping dates for each clue, 1 through 10. So you can mark that on your calendar and know when your clues are going to be popped into the mail. We also have the link to the secret Facebook group. If you are doing a puzzle mystery quilt, you can join the Facebook group, so that way you can, if you have questions or if you want to check out what everybody else is working on, you can check that out there. And then of course, if there are any other general questions, you can reach out to Cotton Cuts by going to help@cottoncuts.com. Excuse me, not going to, but emailing help@cottoncuts.com. Then on the back side, you have your color guide. Make sure to take a picture of this with your phone, so that way you have it at all times, and if it accidentally gets tossed away, lost in your sewing room, wherever it may end up, you always have a copy of it on your cell phone. But please make sure to hold on to this, because you're going to need this every single month to put your clues together. So that is your guide for our colorway and the information with this specific puzzle mystery quilt. Let's go ahead and take a look at the package and see what's inside. All right, first off, we've got a little goodie. I love cotton cuts because they always include a little goodie in some packages along the way. And on this one, I've got a enamel pin to add to my pin collection. Super excited about that. I'm going to go ahead and put it off to the side for now, though. And let's take a look at what's included in clue number 1. So I have 8 small triangles of fabric A. I have 8 small triangles of fabric B. I have another 8 triangles of fabric C. Next up, I have 4 large triangles of fabric A. I have another 4 large triangles of fabric B. And I have another 4 large triangles, this time of fabric F. Also included in this packet, I have 8 rectangles of fabric C. I have another 8 rectangles of fabric D. And lastly, I have 8 rectangles of fabric F. So these are all of my fabrics that are included in this packet. I'm going to go ahead and take them and put them over on the table next to me so that way I have a clear work surface to work with. And we'll get started with step number 1. All right, let's go ahead and get started. At the very top of our instructions, it says all seam allowances are 1/4 of an inch. So remember to use 1/4 of an inch seam allowance. We're going to be pressing in the direction of the arrows listed on our diagram. So we'll be checking that as we go along. We're going to be starting off with section 1. You'll be making 4 of section 1, and the instructions below tell you how to make all 4 sections at the same time. So we're going to be making 4 of this clue all at once, and we're going to start off with step number 1, which says to sew a rectangle of D to the top of a rectangle of F. So here's my D fabric and here is my F fabric. So I'm going to go ahead and sew these two together, and then we're going to add a C rectangle to the top of that. So we're creating this bar or whatever you want to call that, just like that, with our C fabric, our D fabric, and our F fabric in that order. And it's going to look something like this. So I'm going to go ahead and do that. We're going to be making 8 of these in total. So I'm going to go ahead and take these over to the sewing machine, and I'm going to sew all of them together, and I'll come back when it's time to press it out. Okay, I have sewn all of those together, all 8 of them, and now we're pressing downwards. The arrows point away from C and D towards F. So we're pressing downwards, and if you are new to the Puzzle Mystery Quilt, you might notice that there may be directional fabrics in your colorway. Mine has some directional fabrics, and you'll notice that, let's see, I kind of did those 2 different ways. So I have the skulls on this one kind of facing upward. Yeah, I kind of mix and match, if you will, and randomize, because there's no way to predict which way it is going to need to be in the final product. So I just kind of randomize my pieces whenever I'm working on them. So this is what we have. We have C, D, and F. It should sewed into a bar like thus. And I'm going to go ahead, and it looks like we're going to set these off to the side. So I'm going to set this off to the side and move on to step 2. Moving on to step 2, it says to sew a small triangle of A to the top right of a large triangle of F. We're going to press towards our A fabric, and then we're going to join another small triangle of A to the top left. We're going to make 4 of these in total, and we're going to be pressing away from our F fabric towards our A fabric, and we're going to be making 4 of these in total. I'm going to go ahead and do that. I'm not going to come back in between pressing my first triangle and then my second one. I'm just going to go ahead and do both of those at the same time, but I'll come back when I'm completed with that. All right, remember, as you are putting these together, watch out for that biased edge. It will stretch a lot, so be careful of that. Make sure that you're not pushing it through the machine or pulling it through the machine. Let the machine take it through. And then I like to iron my my flying geese blocks kind of like I iron my half square triangles. I will go up, and then I'll go over. And that really helps with the warping issues, and I've really been pleased over the past couple Puzzle Mystery Quilts at how nicely my flying geese blocks are almost square. Not quite, but they get darn close, and I'm okay with that. So we have just finished with step 2. Let's go ahead and move on to step 3. Okay, moving on to step 3, it says to sew a small triangle of B to the top right of a large triangle of A. We're going to press it towards our B fabric, and then we're going to join a small triangle of B to the top left. We're going to make 4 of these in total. So again, we're just going to be creating flying geese block just like we did in the step 2. We're going to be making 4 of these in total, and I'm not once again going to come back in between putting on the right side and then the left side. I'm just going to go ahead and do them both and come back once it's time to finish that out. So I'm going to go ahead and do that, and I'll come back when we're ready to finish it out. All right, once again, I am ironing these like half square triangles up and then over, and we're always pressing away from our center fabric on these, so away from fabric A towards fabric B. There are 4 of those. Let's move on to step 4. All right, moving on to step 4, it says to sew a small triangle of C fabric to the top right of a large triangle of B fabric. We're going to press it towards our our C fabric, and then we're going to add on another small triangle of C to the left, and we'll press it again towards our C fabric, just like we've been doing with all the other ones. And again, not coming back in between each step. I'm going to come back when it's time to finish all that out. So I'm going to go ahead and sew these together. All right, we have sewn all 4 of those together and pressing away from our B fabric towards our C fabric. This one, oops, I think I got this one a little wobbly, but that's okay. I need to check. Nope, it goes all the way to the edge. I was worried about my threads not going all the way to the edge. By the way, I'm using black thread on this quilt because there's a lot of darker colors on this one, so the black will match very well. There we go. We're finished with step 4 there. Let's go ahead and move on to step 5. All right, moving on to step 5, it says to join steps 2, 3, and 4 as shown. So we've got our CBC, then our BAB, and then we got our AFA, and they all go together. You can match up your fabrics, and they create this cool chevron to them. So we're going to be putting these together 4 times with the ones that we've created, and we're just sewing along those seams, and then we'll come back when it's time to press it out. All right, I have sewn all of those together, and now we are pressing towards the top of this series of blocks. So basically, we are following the arrows that were formed on this block and pointing upwards. So I'm going to go ahead and press all of that out towards the top of my segment here. There we go. We've got some really cool chevrons going on with this so far. Let's go ahead and move on to our last step, step 6. Okay, moving on to step 6, it says to join a step 1 unit to the left and right of a step 5. We're going to make 4 of these in total, and then we're going to be done. This went together super fast, so I'm going to go ahead and take this over to the sewing machine and put these together. But as you can see, as long as you have your C fabric lined up, you're good to go. I'm going to go ahead and take this over to the sewing machine, put all 4 of these together, and I'll come back when it's time to press it all out. Okay, I have sewn all 4 of those clues together, and now I'm pressing outwards from our center column out towards the edges, and this will be done. This clue went together really quickly, and I'm super excited about that. Remember, guys, though, that as you're putting these together, this is for fun. Don't get upset if you don't have perfect points or perfect seam alignment or any of that. I'm very proud of myself for this one. I think I did a pretty good job, but don't freak out. It is about having a finished quilt top, not a perfect quilt top. So there it is. There's section 1. I'm going to go ahead and label it as either section 1 or clue 1, just personal preference, whatever you want to label it as. And then I'm going to package everything up. I'm going to keep my clue. I'm going to keep my fabric guide. I'm going to put them into my storage bin, and we'll be ready for month 2. All right, there we go. We finished clue number 1. We only have 9 more clues to go. Can't come soon enough, but it will go very quickly, and I know we'll have a finished quilt top sooner than later, and I'm super excited to see what this one looks like. I'm super excited to use these Halloween fabrics as well. I think the final product is going to look amazing, and I'm already starting to think, how am I going to quilt this? How am I going to add extra borders? I always like to add extra borders to mine. Lots of decisions and things to come, and I know that there's going to be some fun surprises along the way. I hope you will continue to join me as I put together this one. Don't forget, hit that subscribe button down below so that way you get notified every time I post a new video or go live on my YouTube channel. And then of course, if you like today's video, give it a thumbs up. That lets YouTube know that you liked my video, and then hopefully YouTube will share it out to other people who might like it as well. Hope everybody has a great day, and remember guys, normal's just a setting on the dryer. Bye!